How's it going, pipe drivers? It's James from Pipedrive again, and in this video, we're going to focus specifically on the Lead Booster add-on. That means we're going to talk about Chatbot, live chat, web forms, and the Prospector. The Lead Booster add-on comes with several tools, including Chatbot, which can qualify and disqualify web visitors by engaging them with conversation, and then you can use predefined questions and route qualified people to the lead's inbox as a lead, or in the pipelines as a deal. Plus, you can utilize live chat so that you can talk with your hottest leads right from Pipedrive. This will help you automate redundant conversations and relay sort of repetitive information that you've always had to go through over and over with customers. And more importantly, you'll be able to qualify your leads and route them to the sales reps you need to inside of Pipedrive. One of the major reasons to use such a tool as this is to improve your lead response time. And why would you want to do that? Well, legit research shows that you're 10 times more likely to close a deal if you respond to it within the first 5 minutes of their inquiry. And that does kind of make sense, right? Because the more responsive and available a company is for you, the more likely you are to trust that they'll be there for you in the future. So let's show you how the setup works. Now, the moment you start with a new playbook, you get to customize the theme of your chatbot to really start reflecting your brand. You can technically pick any of Pipedrive's preset colors, but obviously you can also customize this exactly as you need it. Then if we go to our next step, this is where you can add some personality. Go ahead and customize the icon and name it whatever you'd like one of your own salespeople, for example, or maybe you want it to represent an entire team. But you can also change the language from whatever your default language is if needed. Then next, this is where you can actually choose a template for your chatbot. You can always further customize any of these really, but let's just start off with the most basic template here. This one simply greets your customers and kind of asks what brought them to your website. So first of all, let's talk about this proactive message here. Now, a proactive message is whatever message you'd like to have pop up in the corner of your website to try and entice your leads into chatting. You can actually configure how many seconds should pass before this pop-up occurs. So this way, maybe they focus on the most important thing on your website first, and then maybe 5 seconds later, you get this little pop-up here. Then we could technically add another message or question, or even ask for information like the customer's name, but let's stick with the template here and just ask the customer a question. From there, we can edit the answers, reorder them, or add new ones. Each answer will deviate into its own path. So let's say they're just looking for some support. We want to just disqualify that lead and provide them with at least some information on how to contact our support team. Then let's say they're also just browsing, so we'll just disqualify that lead and give it a little goodbye message. But then let's say they're interested. This is where we get to have a little fun. But first, it may be prudent to respond to their interest somehow with a message of some sort, like we have here. And then this is where we capture information like their name, and the company they work for, and their email, and all that good stuff. Oh, and some of your custom fields from your deals, people, and organizations can also be prompted in the chatbot, depending on what type of custom field it is. But it's here we can decide whether this qualified lead gets turned into a deal in our pipelines or a lead in the lead's inbox. Currently, leads and deals can only be assigned to one specific Pipedrive user. One feature that will save you a load of time is the option to have this chatbot book meetings directly with a Pipedrive user and your lead via the Pipedrive scheduler. To learn more about the scheduler, just check out the link in the video, but essentially the scheduler just lets you define your availability and share it with your customers so they can pick a time that works best for the both of you. And the schedules you select from here depend on which user you're trying to assign ownership to. Each user sets their own schedules, and so then you can utilize those schedules in this chatbot. But so once we've configured the scheduler, we can set our closing message and we're good to go. From here, we can save our playbook and preview the theme again. And then here you can access the embedding instructions and codes you'll need to host this particular bot on your website. And technically, you don't even have to worry about copying and pasting this data over. You can just send an email to whoever needs the installation instructions right here. But to be honest, it's pretty easy to do. Normally, this just involves pasting this code into the header portion of your web page. Now, what about the live chat function we were talking about? Pipedrive will notify you the moment a visitor would like to chat on your desktop or mobile device. So no matter where you are, you can respond right away and manage your conversations between any of your devices. Then you'll be able to further qualify these people and take notes and potentially convert them to leads or deals in Pipedrive. You can either add the live chat option at any point in your existing chatbot playbooks, or you can start a new playbook using our template. When you're customizing the icon and name, keep in mind that this is just the name of the icon for your automated bot. Once somebody in Pipedrive takes over the conversation using the live chat, their own name and icon are going to show up. But so now we'll select this template that includes live chat. And let's say straight away you want to give customers the option to talk with your sales staff. That's basically what this template is set up for. You can customize 3 things for live chat. There's a greeting message you can configure that will show up if anyone's available to chat. And then let's say all of your reps are busy chatting and there's no one available to talk to this person. This is where you're configuring the maximum amount of time that they would be waiting in a queue. And then there's the offline message to deliver when there is nobody available. At this point, you're probably wondering how you make yourself available or unavailable for live chat, and we'll get to that in a minute, I promise. Everything else left to configure is what you'd want to have happen if live chat was requested, but nobody in your Pipedrive account was available to take it, either because they were in another chat or it simply was outside of the normal hours. It would be highly ideal for you to do your best to at least capture contact information from them with a promise to reach out later. If they decide to leave you information, you can decide whether or not that information is converted into a lead or deal. Now let's see live chat in action. Let's go to our actual live chat area here. Now, quite simply, to make yourself available, you're going to toggle this right here. Or you can also mark yourself available in any of the Pipedrive mobile apps. Either one works. Be sure to toggle this only if you're truly ready to take on a chat, as you only have until the wait time you've configured to assign the conversation to yourself. Otherwise, your visitors are going to have to put up with that wait time until they've learned you're not around. And this isn't just you, this is any Pipedrive user. So anyone who marks themselves as available in your Pipedrive account can assign conversations to themselves. In fact, conversations can also be reassigned to other available Pipedrive users. Now be sure to allow desktop notifications so you can be instantly informed the moment someone would like to chat. You can also get a Pipedrive app notification on your mobile device. So let's say the happy time has come and you get a website visitor that selects live chat. Anyone available and not engaged in the chat is going to be notified, and from there you can assign a conversation to yourself and go along your merry way talking with the prospect, and then you can write down the further details and notes that you're having. And then technically, if any new chats come up while you're having this, you can also assign multiple conversations to yourself and just do some multitasking. Like we've said before, because live chat is available on the Pipedrive mobile app as well, it's practically impossible to miss a potential sale. Its main purpose is to make it easy to respond to your web visitors right away when they're engaged. You can always resume the conversation on your desktop, so it's no problem if you start it on your mobile device. A quick note about the mobile app, it is important to note that besides getting notified about new chats, the only other live chat functions you can perform in the mobile app are the ability to assign conversations to yourself or reassign it to other Pipedrive users, as well as closing conversations. That's pretty much it for the time being. Going back to the desktop version, let's say our prospect has left the chat and you see they're offline. At any point in time, you can just close this conversation and leave it at that, or you can convert it into a lead or a deal. You'd likely convert it to a lead if you're still not sure about them, and you'd convert it to a deal if you're really ready to kick off that sales process, tracking them at that point through the stages of your pipelines. Either way, you've got options, but guess what? Now that they've actually had a chat with you, they're far more engaged. Now let's move on to web forms, which are like they sound. They're basically high-quality, customizable forms used to capture customer information on your website. After you define your form's look, this is where you outline the style a little bit more, like specifically the font and language and the box styles. But then next we can pick a template. You can always customize these further, but they're pretty self-explanatory as to what purpose they serve. In the next step, this is where you can customize further than the template, and you can add additional questions or messages, as well as mark some fields as required in order to submit the form. If you'd like to protect yourself against spam submissions, then you can enable the reCAPTCHA option over here. And then in the next step, this is where you can set up what happens after the web form has actually been submitted. Since this is a template that gives people access to a download link, for example, we can include that link in our goodbye message, or instead we could just redirect the customer to a web page of our choosing. Then later on, after you've started using this form, you can go back into here and look at insights into how your forms are actually performing. Now, last but certainly not least on the list of features for the Lead Booster add-on is the Prospector. With the Prospector, you'll be able to find your next business opportunity out of a global database of over 400 million profiles and 10 million companies. It's simple, efficient, and fully GDPR compliant. Prospector is perfect for those of you that are basically struggling to find high-quality outbound sales leads. What you can do in this section here is build personas of your target customers and then generate contact data from those matching people and companies. Then you'll find that the Prospector uses a credit system to reveal the contact information of these prospects. But the Prospector can be quite helpful even without spending money on credits. You can still use the filtering abilities to kind of gather insight into your total addressable market, for example. So imagine you wanted to only look at companies that had between 51 to 200 employees in your specific region and industry, for example. Pretty nifty, right? But you can also get very specific. Say you want to find the people who are sales managers in food and beverage in your specific city, or something like that. Already, we know what our addressable market is, but like I said, we could still use Prospector credits to reveal contact information for these people. And guess what? When you try out Lead Booster for the first time, you get free Prospector credits right off the bat. No strings attached. We'll remind you when new credits are needed, and we'll be sure to let you know if anyone else in your PyDrive account has already revealed contact information so you don't waste your credits. We'll also let you know if you happen to already have one of these people as a contact person in PyDrive. And that's Prospector. So this means you'll never run out of opportunities. And that wraps it up for this demonstration of Lead Booster, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, we actually do have a web visitors add-on you can learn more about in the link. But hopefully this has given you a good idea of what value you can get out of Lead Booster, and you're now eager to get started and have better conversations with your customers. So thanks for watching, and until next time, pipe drivers.